Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. I thought I would do a combination of a video response as well as give my impressions and thoughts on the new PlayStation 5 reveal event they just had, as well as the Xbox Series-X. I've had just the last 2 days, I mean since yesterday, I've had a bunch of people messaging me, Dean, what do you think about the PlayStation 5? Are you getting one and all this stuff? The last week or so, I've been kind of dismal. I've had a friend of mine that offered to help me get one, but I didn't know how much success he was going to have. He didn't guarantee it, but he said there's a pretty good chance he could get me one and secure himself one as well. I completely forgot about it, to be honest. I was going to just go down to my local GameStop and pre-order one or whatever. And so I sat eagerly, with my Diet Pepsi yesterday, waiting to see the PS5 reveal event. I've been waiting for like 3 days to see that. I'm really excited. And of course, they've already showed a lot of really good games on that system. The only one that I really liked that I had seen so far was that game Stray, and then I was really intrigued with the Oddworld game. Looked really good. I have kind of an affection for that Oddworld series going back to the original Xbox. I've got a couple of their games, and they're just really fun platformers, and I would assume the new one is probably more of the same. So that one, it interests me. It's kind of, to me, it's not like a real high priority to like, oh, I've got to have that Oddworld game day one, but it'd be nice to play. I know I could enjoy it, but anyways, I sit, of course, they're showing all the games, and Final Fantasy, and again, a lot of the dragons and swords, and wonderful remaster of the Demon Souls. I mean, really looks good. And great monsters and lighting effects. And you can see the PS5 is a powerhouse. The new Morales Spider-Man thing there, and excellent ray tracing, lighting. You can see in the reflection of all the neon and the lights reflecting off the little pools of puddles of water as they're walking through the little, the little venue outdoors there in the alley. It looks so good. I mean, the graphics are very, very impressive. You can see that they're going to really be able to take advantage of this new, SSD, super high speed, hard drive and all that. But, there's a Harry Potter thing they're showing. I go, okay, all right, and some other games. And they showed the new Black Ops Cold War, which I already was going to get that. I mean, I just need to go down and pre-order. I haven't pre-ordered. I've been kind of deciding, do I want that one on the X or do I want it on the PS4 Pro? So, these are the problems you want to have and deciding right now. I'm out of work. I mean, my whole life is like video games and watching movies and Star Wars, Rebels at nighttime. So I don't have a whole lot going on right now. So it's been on my mind a lot, next gen. And I've had my friend Angel and people in the last couple weeks, dude, you're going to get a PS5? And I go, I just don't think there's going to be any available. I think that they're going to crash the servers when people go on and try to pre-order them on Amazon and Walmart, what have you. I think they're going to problems. And supposedly Walmart was going to take pre-orders, but there's rumors that they may not even be able to fulfill them, that a lot of those will probably be scrapped. So wise people might want to try to pre-order at Best Buy, Walmart, Target, GameStop. Just, put your money down in a bunch of places and then roll the dice. You'll probably get at least one of them. But I wasn't real optimistic. I figured, of course, this new reveal event. So, they've already shown some games, but they're saving the best for last. Billy, it's going to be great. And I'm rubbing my hands together, and it's like, this is going to be awesome. And so excited, and I'm watching, and it almost mirrors I hate to say this. Now, again, I know a lot of you like hack and slash games and, the Final Fantasy RPGs and stuff, and I don't want to take anything away, or Spider-Man or those games. I'm not a superhero person. I do have some Batman games. I like Batman. That's like one of the only ones that I like. I'm not into comic books, really. I was more into like Doc Savage and The Punisher and, and Batman. Those were my favorite comics. And I used to read in the paper the Spider-Man comics when I delivered my paper route when I was a kid. I used to read the Spider. That was my favorite comic at the time. But I don't know. It just as I get older, it just didn't do anything for me, and I'm not into it. I do have a couple Hulk games because I like to pick things up like the Rampage game and throw things and climb up buildings and destroy them. And, so because of that, I kind of like the Hulk games, and I used to watch the Hulk with my dad, with Bill Bixby back in the 70s or whatever. But for the most part, the superhero games don't do it for me. Medieval games and hack and slash games don't do it for me. So I'm waiting for like shooter. Of course, they showed the wonderful, I was already going to get the Black Ops Cold War. So wasn't too worried about that. It looked great. I mean, oh, it looks good, really polished, great shooting. I love the 80s, mindset, picking up from the non-thing of the first Black Ops. Now we're going really back to the roots of Black Ops, so I'm all over that. I'm going to get that. I already pre-ordered Squadrons. I've got the remaster reboot of Mafia pre-ordered. I've already picked up Wastelands 3. I don't think I have anything else pre-ordered right now. I was planning on getting Commandos 2 Men of Courage, but I'm boycotting that now. That's another rant. We'll just leave it at that. But there's just not much out that I want, even for this gen coming out the rest of the year. And then, so I'm waiting for next gen. I keep waiting for the games. Also, maybe they'll show more of that Stray game. Because I would like to get that one. That's like the only game that I'm even slightly interested in having. God, these people from Sacramento, keep calling me. They think I still have my business, and my phone just keeps ringing constantly with 916 numbers. I just delete them immediately because it's all bullshit. Oh, Mr. Thompson, you're pre-approved for 80K, for your business loan, all this stuff. And it's like I don't even know I've shut my business down. I've shut my website down, everything, but whatever. So, anyhow, you can see my ADD. I'm all over the map. I mean, my last video, by the way, I made so many flubs and couldn't remember things. And in fact, I'll show it right now just to interject this. Steve gave me 3 games, which I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, and I showed him the Dead Rising, and then I got sidetracked and derailed as usual. But he gave me 2 other games, which I want to show right now. He gave me the wonderful Rare Replay. God, the menus look beautiful in this. This is a very impressive game. I'm dying to play the Perfect Dark and Perfect Dark Zero, and I already played the little RC Cam one, Pro Am or whatever it is. That one's very cool. A lot of arcade games, and I don't like all of these games, but there's probably 4 or 5 that I'm very interested in, and I just love the menus. They really did a really good job on this. This is a must-have for the Xbox. And then Steve gave me this is a game that I've always wanted. I almost bought for Dead Rising 3 and this game. I came close to getting that VCR Xbox One, even at $500, but I didn't. And that's Forza 2, Forza Horizon 2. I keep calling it Forza 2. Again, these names and numbers drive me crazy. Many people know that my favorite racing game of all time, anyone that's really into racing games that's good at them loves this. This is a masterpiece. I don't think, frankly, anything can top. This is before the goofy drive-atars. Now, ironically, the Xbox 360 version, which I do have digitally, I had the physical copy, I gave it to my nephew, but you don't have the drive-atars, thank God on that. But you do in this, whether you can turn them on or off yet. I haven't played this yet, but this looks good. Now, ironically, this is in 4K, and this one's not. But anyway, Steve, thank you again for these. I love this game, and to see this with better graphics, and you can do a lot more. There's a lot more areas you can go into in this version versus the Xbox 360 version. So anyway, these were the 3 games Steve got me. I was all over the map with that, as I am with this video. But anyway, getting back to the reveal, and I'm watching, and it's like, and then it's over, and they show Jim Ryan, and well, we're going to show one more thing, and they showed Demon Souls or something. And of course, they showed a nice little slow pan of the PlayStation 5. They showed all the way around the back. Now you can see the back of it and the vents, and okay, that's how it's going to breathe. And here's your USB ports, and it's a handsome-looking console. I like it, but I have no reason to get it. And shortly after that, I didn't know when. Okay, they're going to announce the pre-orders tomorrow, or are they going to announce it right at the very end? Jim Ryan's going to announce. I didn't know. It was kind of confusing. And then shortly after, I get a text from my good friend who was going to hook me up. He said, "Dean, I got myself one. I can get you one right now. Do you still want me to get it for you?" And I'm glad he asked, because I would have been on the hook for 500 plus clams. And I go, I said, "I really appreciate it, bud, but I can't. There's no game. I can't warrant spending that kind of money, and there's literally nothing to play on it. Yeah, I could play my PS4 games and probably see enhanced performance, and I was so excited about getting one day one. And you know what's really ironic is that when I bought my PS4, the midnight launch, I had pre-ordered 4 games, 4 PS4 next-gen games. I think one of them you could get on, still play on the 360 or on the PS3, but they were all next-gen games. And then the following week I bought a few more. there was tons of games. Not a tremendous amount of games at launch, but for the PS4 at least. And of course, the Xbox had Rise, Son of Rome. Excuse me, and I think they had Forza Horizon 2. I can't remember at launch. It's been so long. But to me, this reveal event was almost as much of a letdown as the 2013 Microsoft reveal event. And there's nothing against Sony. It looks like a great console. I'm sure it's flawless and it's powerful and its games look great, but there's not one game for me. I like shooters and I like racing games. And if I don't have something in that category or an RTS or something to play for next gen, there's no point. And all the games, it's a different age today with Fortnite and a lot of the games the kids are into, them big MMOs. It's not my thing. Again, I take nothing away from those people that like those games or that have taste in those genres. I have friends of mine that all they play, they went out and bought a PlayStation 4 just to play Final Fantasy. I get it. I completely understand. I went out and got a PS3 basically just for the Twisted Metal reboot in 2011 or so. So I'm hip. I know, but even again, the stuff I liked, and even the games I played on the Super NES, no one else, Nigel Mansell's World Championship pole position, Outlander, F-15 Strike Eagle, not one of them other than Star Fox was a beloved Nintendo thing. There was no Donkey Kong. I'm just not into any of those cutesy. I was an adult then. And they're fun. They're fun little games and platformers and Mario games and stuff. I've never played a Mario Kart game. I've never played any of those Donkey Kong games. I have played. My friend has a full-size Donkey Kong 2 arcade machine in his garage, and I played it many times. It's a blast. We have beers and get drunk and play Donkey Kong 2. But other than that, I don't really have a lot of affinity for that. So a lot of the games and taste, what I'm saying is the games and taste that I have in genres and what have you, a lot of people just don't have. It could be my age, generation, who knows. And so as we go deeper into the future with gaming, and even though they got these beautiful realized worlds with photorealism, and of course the new Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever the hell it is, yeah, it looks good. I want to wait and see more on that. I'm not completely sold. It looks Blade Runner-ish, and I love that aspect of it. I like some of the Deus Ex Human Revolution dynamics, and, RPG elements to this. Things I like about it, and the dystopian future, all of that. It looks great, But there's just something about it. I'm not sold on it yet. I don't know why. I don't know. So I want to wait and see more on that. And it looks great, And again, that may be current gen and multi-plat next gen too. But it was just funny because the PlayStation 4, there were so many games that were like Killzone Shadowfall and Need for Speed Rivals, and I think I had maybe Assassin's Creed Black Flag at launch. There were 4. I can't remember the 4th one, but great games, really good games. That I liked and genres that I liked, and there's just nothing this gen for and I hear that with the Xbox Series-X, that frankly, it's going to be like up to 3 years before there's even an exclusive that's just like purely a next gen Xbox One X exclusive. It won't be on the older systems, and it's like there's no big hurry to get these, even though I love getting the new hardware. My friend Blaze last night, he filmed, I got one, I got my pre-order. He's driving in his car with his mask on. Sony babies, like screaming and yelling. He's so excited, and it's, I was going to make a comment, I can't go, there's nothing for me to play. I don't want to piss on his, be a wet blanket or piss in his Cheerios or whatever, so I decided to keep it in my pants or whatever, but yeah, it was just a really, it's fun to see my friends that are excited about it. I understand. I completely get it, and I know why they're interested in getting one. I can't do it. My friend was kind of surprised, like, oh, okay. I guess I understand your reasoning, and I just said, watch my video, where I just uploaded with my current, Xbox system and how happy I am with that. You can see, and I've got so many games to play. Just on that system alone, this could keep me busy for, months. And I've got another stack of God knows how many 30 inches high of games that for the last 5 years, and I haven't played. Plus I've got all my, 5th and 6th gen and 7th gen games. flanking me on every side here to play. I mean, I can't. I can't do it for me personally, you know. The new, Gran Turismo 7 is coming out. I'm nervous. After this always online, I know supposedly there's one aspect you can play of an offline component within the Gran Turismo Sport, but you still have to log in to save your price. It's always online. It's not, I will never ever touch. I boycott any game that I have to be online all the time for the server. I just will not do it. And so I'm just nervous. I don't see a real big reason. And now I'm leaning towards, believe it or not, maybe a Series X, because at least that I can play, the old games. I can play these old games on it. In fact, last night one of my friends, Dean, I don't know if you know this, you can install GTA 4 and plus all of these the episodes from Liberty City stories, which I didn't know. So you get 2 wonderful expansions in this. I love this game. This is one of the first 2 games I bought for the original Xbox before they had the special edition. It was just the vanilla GTA 4. And the fact that you can play this, I don't know if it's enhanced or not on the Xbox One X, but it plays and looks fine. I put in the Lost in the Dam last night. I installed both discs, and so it sees it and gives you the code. You can eject the disc immediately, and then it downloads the installs for both games. And so I'm having so much fun with this. I can keep this going. Microsoft is going to pass the torch on to the next gen with the backwards compatibility, and I like that a lot. I mean, that gives me a reason to get it, but frankly, I don't think that these are going to play any better on a Series X than they will on the one I have now. Maybe the load times might be, ultra quick or something, but I just don't think the performance is going to be much better. So I don't have a hell of a lot of impetus to get a next-gen console, even though I love the industrial design of both. I would lay both down on their side, including the big, butcher block Xbox Series X. It'll fit in there, measured. It'll definitely fit. I can fit. I just took a GameCube and kind of, okay, it'll fit good. I'll just figure 3 of those on their next side by side, But I just can't do it, guys. I can't. Maybe a year from now, maybe there'll be 2 or 3 exclusive. Plus, with all the political correct crap coming out, and there's just less and less and less. Solid Rev and I send each other texts for the last couple of weeks, several times over this, because we both have been very disappointed with. To us, is a lackluster array of new games coming out. They're not for us. We like Max Payne 3. Midnight Club LA, and older games that were just so fun to play. And there's plenty of new ones I enjoy. I like a lot of the indie games and Lonely Mountain Downhill. And there's a lot of really fun games, that I like playing on the new gen. Wreckfest has got a whole new Season 2 pass coming out. It looks outstanding. I got to get the Season 2 pass for that. Oh, and then a friend of mine in the comments said, Dean, I don't know if you know this, but he says that Forza Horizon 3, I thought it was already delisted. I didn't know it was still available. He said, I think it's till the 28th of this month if you still want it, because after that you will not be able to get, unless you have a physical copy, you won't be able to get it, and you will not be able to get any of the DLC. So the expansion, where you got the Blizzard Mountain deal and the Hot Wheels, extra crazy world deal, and then all of the Hoonigans DLC and everything, you won't be able to get any of that or any of the car packs after the 28th. So if you want it, you can go on now for like $20.99 and get the whole game. It comes with 3 expansions or 3 DLCs, a VIP pass and this pass and that and whatever. I even downloaded last night a free Camaro ZL1 pack, which I love that Camaro. I'd love to have one of those. So to me, I don't like the new Forza 4. I don't like the setting of it. I love Australia. I almost moved there back in the late 80s. And I still love it today. It's a wonderful place. And to me, I fell in love with the early reviews and trailers for Forza Horizon 3. So to me, that's the perfect world. And so I could probably try to get online and get a physical copy in the next week or so before it goes offline, But I just said, I'm going to just download the digital version and then all the DLC that I want just to lock in and to have it. And then I can get a physical copy later to put on the shelf or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do today. Later today, I'll go out and get couple of Microsoft, cards, and I'll buy the DLC. I think you can get the expansion pass 70% off. So you can get this for 21 bucks basically, and then you can get the Blizzard Mountain Hot Wheels expansion for like another 10 or 10.99. So it's about $32, 33 bucks. And then I want to get the Hoonigans. I really like the Ken Block. It's got the Hoonicorn, the '65 Mustang, which is that great thing around LA. When I went to LA years ago, I saw all the black marks of the 10 and the 110 freeway, where he did all those donuts and stuff. I mean, that Jim Connor, I don't know, from 7 or whichever one it was, such a great driver. I just love his shit. And the fact you can play his cars and trucks and stuff, and this is very cool. So I'm all over that. I'm excited about getting that. I rewatched Carrot's review of the Forza Horizon 3 and the Blizzard Mountain expansion last night. I go, yep, I gotta get that one. So very pumped about this series. I love the Forza series to death. It's the Forza Horizon series I like even more. I'd kind of like to get the Forza 7 too, which would be good. I like that real precision sim type racing too. And in 4K, it looks pretty stunning. But getting back to my VRs about the future, yeah. So right now, yeah, I'm in no hurry. And would I get a next gen thing? Of course I would. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some games. I'm sure within a year from now there'll be probably 2 or 3 games that I'll have to have, kind of like there was on the Xbox, One. It took a year or so, and they came out with more and more games that I liked, and so I like that, and yeah, I might get one. But again, I gotta have a reason to get it. I mean, it would be more inclined to get the Sony ecosystem because I can play my 100 and some odd 20 or however many games I've got for the PS4 and be able to enjoy them with improved performance, I would imagine. But it's just not enough. I can't. Then you get 2 games at 70 bucks a piece, now you get another 150. So now you're talking 650 bucks for the console and 2 games, and say you get the charging station, probably another 65 bucks. I mean, it adds up. Now you're talking 720 bucks for a new console and 2 games, and then a little charging station. So I don't know. I just don't think, I can't do it. I will down the road, and I don't know which one I'm going to get first. Now I'm confused. So, but in the meantime, I got a wonderful PlayStation 4 Pro and an Xbox One X, so it's all good. Now, getting back to Chad, the gaming dad, he did a wonderful, and I'll have a link to both videos from my friend Jeremy, his original video from last night that I'm doing a VR to, as well as Chad's. Chad was on a mountain bike, and he was riding around for 30, 40 minutes, whatever it was, and he just was like talking about next gen. Now, Chad has even more games than I do. He has like 8 terabytes hooked up with his external hard drive or his PS4 Pro. He's like maxed it out, all of it. Like, wow, dude, I haven't even filled up my 4 terabyte one. You can get a lot of games. He's like me, it doesn't always finish them. Some he'll start and doesn't finish, and some he likes to dabble and try them all out, like a smorgasbord, and I'm the same way. So I certainly can relate to it, and he loves the PSVR. He's way ahead of me. So he's someone that, and he's a techie person. I mean, he's really good at his videos. Are very polished, wonderful. He has the same Canon HF 600 camera that I have, but his editing skills are great. He does that kind of as a side job. He does editing for either the news or sporting events and things, and he's very good and loves making videos and YouTube videos. And you can tell he does a great job putting them together. But he's really disenchanted. He goes, I didn't get into this gaming thing to collect hard drives. I'm in it to collect games. I want video games. I'm into collecting games, and not hard drives. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the day one patches. I'm just sick of the whole thing. And I'm not even getting next gen. Now, to me, it seems odd because he's someone that obviously has embraced the new tech. He loves the graphics. He really loves the VR stuff. I'm sure as a Star Wars fanatic that he is like me, he's an old guy that saw their Star Wars at a young age like I did, and the original one, 77. So he loves it to death. He loves the series, and he's really excited about playing Squadrons in VR, and plus they've got other Star Wars things and stuff you can play in VR too. So to me, I'm like, I don't know how you're going to give all the future up, dude. I mean, you're obviously really hooked on it, but he seems genuinely like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just tired of it. I got more than enough to play, and I don't even know if these consoles are going to work down the road. What if the servers go down? And it's something certainly to think about. And I told him, I said, well, look at it this way. My feeling is this. This is why I have not 1 but 2 Xbox 360Es. This is why I will get another, maybe a 500 gigabyte PS4 Super Slim. Or I'm sorry, PS3 Slim. This is a backup. I like backups, and then I like backups of backups. I have multiple two modded Xboxes, a couple PS2s, one of them modded, a couple of PS1s. I like to have backups of two Sega Genesises. I do have only one Super NES, but that's fine. Those things are pretty bulletproof. So I'm preparing for the future. I gave away, I could have kept my original Xbox 360 Elite, but I gifted it to a friend the minute I got the new one. I try to pass the savings on to others. I got my PS4 Pro as a gift. I took my perfect condition launch PS4 and gave it to my friend in Utah, Clint, and he loves it. He wanted it for the Uncharted games and the Uncharted remasters, so I was very happy to give it to him, including the Uncharted collection or whatever it was there. But my thing is this: as long as for the 6th and 7th gen you have backup consoles, so if one of your, God forbid, your original Xbox 6 is shit, you get another one you can play. You can take the clock capacitor out. And if you don't know how to do that, you can pay someone to do it cheap. Put in a new hard drive. Some people even have a 1 terabyte hard drive in their thing. I've got like a 500 gigabyte hard drive in my Xbox, the original Xbox console. And my modded PS2 is pretty stout too. I have a lot of 20-odd games in that already installed. Although it's a lot more finicky as to what games you can install in a PS2 versus the Xbox. Xbox you can install almost anything, with a few exceptions. And most of your Xbox 360 games, I think, will play offline. I think that most of them you kind of need the latest update, but I think a lot of that's, you don't really need it. A lot of the updates may remove licensed music, so if you get the original, game and play it offline. Now, the Xbox 360 of Dead Island has 32 major issues with it, and it will not function properly. You cannot play that game all the way through. It's virtually impossible if you have the original version of it before they patched it. If you have the one which I got initially, the Dead Island offering the games with gold, if you have that version of it, that should have all the patches in it, I think. So, but I've got the definitive edition of PlayStation 4, a better version of Dead Island anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. I even saw, even though it may take me a while to find a physical Skate 3, I can go on for $4.95 and just buy a digital version of Skate 3 because it's my favorite skateboard game, just to have it in my hard drive. So I'm going to do that too. I'm going to get the Blizzard Mountain expansion, the Hot Wheels thing for my Forza Horizon 3, and I'm just going to spend a whopping $5 and get the digital version of this just to have it. So I'm very happy about that. You have options with the Xbox One X, and that's what I like about it. And I think that Microsoft is going to keep moving that forward with the backwards compatibility. I even think they might even add some games to it down the road. If not, maybe make it to where most games will play. Who knows? But I'm very optimistic, and I see them being around. I don't see Microsoft going out of business anytime soon. So at least for the near future, I think that people will get them going. People say, yeah, but what if down the road that they pull off the servers and they don't have the updates you need and patches to play them? Well, I have faith in technology, and I have faith in the techie community. It's way like the Blue Angels that flies way over my head, but that doesn't mean it goes over the heads of others. And a lot of other dedicated, passionate, retro gamers like myself that are very concerned about our legacy of games and keeping them for all time, and being able to play these games that we love, and being able to go back and play Dead Space, and to play the Mass Effect games, and to play Skate 3, and all of these is important to us. And so I think that people are going to preserve it. They're going to find a way. I could see down the road there'll be a website where you can download the patch and drag it into your file or something. I mean, I don't know how they'll do it, but I have to believe. I'm an eternal optimist, I at heart, and I know someone will come up with an answer for that. I feel pretty confident. And so I'm going to, kind of on faith, we'll just leave it at that. On faith, I'm going to step out and just say, I'm going to keep going. And I probably will get, probably both next-gen systems. That may be the last console generation, because if it does go the full online-only streaming service, I'm going to bail at that. And I've got more than enough to play, believe me. So, and Jeremy was saying the same thing in his video last night, which you'll see in the link video down below. He expresses a lot of the exact same concerns, and I get it, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm just not gonna do it right away. I'm not gonna get the consoles at launch for obvious reasons I've already mentioned. But so that's my thinking on it. Have backup consoles, get external hard drives. It's amazing. I had bought in games like Duke Nukem Manhattan Project, God, 5, 6 years ago. And Microsoft can see it, everything I bought, all the licenses, And I have other games that I haven't re-downloaded that I could, that I had bought and purchased, but I already have other versions of them. So I just said I'm not going to waste hard drive space downloading those. But I've got plenty of games, and the fact that Microsoft remembers, I bought like SSX, the reboot of that, and I've got that permanently in my hard drive. That was a Games with Gold thing. But I had prepaid for all the Mountain Eddy and the other Japanese mountain there. I forget what it's called, and so I have all the expansions for that and character packs. And so when I download the game into the hard drive, it sees all the DLC. When I did the first Forza Horizon, it saw like a dozen DLCs I bought, and it just like piggybacks them on there, and it just installs them all. And it's so cool. I love that. I see Microsoft as, they're all in on this backwards compatibility, And the fact you can get digital versions of games, if you can't find it, like they had Kane's Wrath, even though I can't find one, I think it's $20. It's expensive, but I can buy it. I could have the digital version, and then maybe in 3 years I trip over it at a yard sale or something. So anything's possible, and I like that. I just think that. And Sony does the same thing. Everyone says, oh, Sony's not backwards compatible. Well, they are and they aren't. You can play on the PlayStation 3 a lot of PS1 games, and PlayStation 2 you can play PS1 games. They have a lot of PlayStation 3 games available through the PlayStation Now, but what they do have on the PS4 is a shitload of really good PlayStation 2 games. Destroy All Humans 1 and 2, Red Faction 1 and 2, like 3 or 4 Star Wars games or more. I mean, there's a lot of really cool games, old, very fun games that you can get from the PlayStation 2 Classics, Primal, and so many others. So I'm encouraged. I have all of the GTA, I have all the Rockstar games on my PS4. GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and actually that's the best version of San Andreas, is the original PlayStation 2 remastered one, because the original Xbox and Xbox 360 remastered versions have better lighting and better resolution, but it loses something in the atmosphere, the wonderful coloration in the back, and there's certain dynamics about it that have been lost in that version. So I don't know if you know that there's actually, you can go online and check, there's actually like 2 different versions right now of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, of San Andreas. And the PlayStation 2 version and the PS4 version of the PS2 version is really the best version of that to play. But there's a lot of cool things. I've got the Manhunt and the Red Dead Revolver and Bully and so many others. All the Rockstar games that I absolutely love and really dedicate. I've got over 100 hours in GTA 5. I 100%ed the game. I think I'm only missing a few fly under bridges, which I got to go back, and then stunt jumps, I got really frustrated with some of the stunt jumps and said, fuck this, and just dropped the controller. But otherwise, I 100% of the game, did all the side content, found every collectible in the game. I love that game, and I'd like to replay that right now on the PS4 with the first-person mode, but I just, I've got, my backlog's so huge, I just feel guilty replaying an old game when I haven't played so many newer ones. So these are the problems you want to have, I guess. But anyway, so I'm going to keep going as long as I can. I'll go one more generation, and I can only hope and pray Sony and Microsoft, and I'm sure Nintendo in their own way too, is preserving their legacy of games. There's a lot of GameCube games you can get now on the Switch. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. And even Super NES games, that's very cool. A lot of them are only in the digital store, which I'm not thrilled about digital, but I've embraced it. I've had to. It's the only way to play Call of Juarez Gunslinger or Call of Duty Classic. That's it. The only way you're going to play that is a digital version. So what, are you not going to play it? Of course I'm going to play it. I'm going to buy a fucking hard drive and put it in the hard drive and hope I can hang on to it. And if my one Xbox 360E corrupts, I'll put it in another one and re-download all the licenses and all the DLC and all those games again. You know, it's the way it is. So that's my answer to it, guys. I mean, I'm the first person to want to bail when things get real heavy, you know, techie, cloud-based streaming. So I'm just can't. I'm not into it. Totally not into it. And I got more than enough to play, but at the same time, who doesn't like a new experience? I mean, who doesn't get excited when you see a new game, you know, even a Call of Duty game? You know, even if it's only a 5 or 6 hour campaign, I'm all over that. You know, that's great. So anyway, that's my answer. You can put in the comments how you feel. This is something I really would like to see in the comment section, guys. If you want to do a VR to, you know, Jeremy and Chad's original video and piggyback it onto mine and what I had to say, by all means do a video response and then link it in my channel, and I'll make sure my friends see that you've done a VR to it. But I would like to know, I mean, are you gonna get next gen? Have you tried? I mean, like I said, I had it right in my lap. I mean, I could have had a guaranteed PlayStation 5, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't, you know. I don't want to tell my wife, oh yeah, I got the PS5. She already said, yeah, go ahead and, you know, get one. If you want one, we'll get it and have it. I know it means a lot to you. I know how much you enjoy getting the launch PS4. So I thought that was great. I just couldn't do it. I'm going to tell her. She's like, oh yeah, you're great. What games did you get? And I'm like, well, nothing. Well, then why did you spend $500? I already see that coming. I don't want to go there. So I'll wait. For multiple reasons, I'm going to wait. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I got a bunch of more videos. My wife is actually going out of town this weekend. So I'll have the house to myself. So that's a great time to do a tour video. She just came out here a minute ago to see what I'm doing out here. You know I'm filming. So it's hard for me to film if I know she's not. I've got to keep it down a little bit and stuff. So this way I can do a wonderful tour video, which you'll have very soon. And then early next week I'll have that uploaded. And I'm excited about that. I'm really dying to show. And then I'm going to have an original Xbox and my new updated Xbox 360 collection videos. And got so much shit. I had tons of great videos and some surprises too. So thanks for watching, guys. Put in the comments how you feel about this next gen thing. Are you interested in seeing it going into the future, and you're going to hang in there as long as you can, or you're going to bail? I understand either way and would love to know. Thanks again. Enjoy your games and your collections.